Hey, Shrewdness fans. Welcome to a special edition of the Shrewdness Talking Royals. We have some exciting news to share. Most of you have probably heard.
It's big day. It's
We're going
big
to spend
day.
a few minutes talking about the shot in the arm that the Royals are hoping to gain from calling up their stud right fielder.
TBD.
Question mark.
TBD? Question mark. Dex, tell us about Jac and his call up to the Royals this week.
So Jac Caglione got the news Sunday. And I'm not going to say maybe it wasn't right after Chris Bubich lost a 1-0 game and they decided they needed some runs. I feel like right after that game ended, losing 1-0, get Jac on the phone. Yep. Yeah, that's it. Get on up here. I need you to start hitting some of those, 17 home runs at our club.
Yeah.
At our club, because
Right.
we don't have any in our corner outfield. I got to feel that's what happened. I don't know. Chiz, what do you have on that one?
Yeah, I mean, I think I think they ideally would have liked to have waited a couple more weeks, but I think what happened was lost 2 of 3 to the Tigers.
Yeah.
And that put us 8.5 back and in 4th place. Twins 7.5 back, Guardians 6.5 back. So it's still, everything's still close. But 8.5 back, you're starting to get, it's like, oh my gosh. And you had 2 1-0 games back to back. One that you won, one that you lost.
Just need more than 1 run in 18 innings.
When Chris Bubich loses a game, goes into the game, loses 1-0, and his ERA goes down to 1.43. You have to start going, wait a second here. So this is caused by, we've talked all season on the Shrewdness by how incredible the pitching is and how horrific the batting is. And I just have to let you guys know, I have some stats here to put this into perspective. Okay. First off, the 1969 Royals scored the fewest runs per game in franchise history. That was 3.6 runs per game.
Summer of 69.
In 69, they scored 3.6. That was the worst. Until this summer. And this team averages 3.23 runs per game.
That's not even close.
Records were meant to be broken, Chisholm. Records were meant to be broken.
That's the first stat I will submit to you. The second stat I will submit to you is the collective lack of power that this lineup actually has. If you look at the home run totals in the Major League by club, the Los Angeles Dodgers lead everyone at 97. The Yankees are second at 95. You start going down the list, you're like, yeah. The Royals are last. Okay, not surprising. However, it is surprising that they only have 34 freaking home runs a third of the way through the season. They're going to be pushing as a team at this rate to get 100 home runs by the end of the season. The Dodgers already have that.
Yeah.
The next lowest team in the major leagues is the Pittsburgh Pirates, and they have 9 more than the Royals. So they have 43. The Royals have 34. Like, this is a historically bad power hitting team.
And they had 7 of them in one game.
And that's exactly, Pruitt, that's a brilliant point. They had 7 of their 34 home runs in one day. Like,
oh my gosh.
So, I mean, yes, are they hitting
that makes
doubles?
It even worse.
Yeah. They hit a lot of doubles, but they're still middling in the doubles. Like, there's no power whatsoever to this team. Then you flip over and you look at the pitching stats, and from an ERA standpoint, they have a 3.13 ERA, which puts them second in the American League by 0.03. So the Rangers have a 3.10, they have a 3.13. Like, this is great pitching this year. Like,
yeah.
we should be spending all our time talking about how phenomenal the pitching is, but the hitting's so bad.
Yeah.
You can't ignore it. When you lose game 1-0, and like when the Croatian sensation comes out and strikes out 9 again, which he's like doing every game now.
Yeah.
And all you can think about is like he gave up a run in the 3rd inning on a wild pitch.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it.
And that was kind
lost.
I was kind of mad at that one. Did you see the replay? Like, Salvi
was very mad. It was
very
un-Salvi like.
And the guy was going back to 3rd until Salvi just decided, like,
yes,
like
Salvi, like it was the most un-Salvi play ever. He totally, a guy who never slacks, like
Ever.
totally slacked. He totally
Yeah.
gave up on that play completely, and it
just
gave
don't
him the
understand.
run. So that was a series you really needed to get 2 of 3 from. They ended up losing 2 of 3, and I think the alarm bells went off. Meanwhile, you look at what Jack was doing down in the minors,
Yes.
and like he wasn't slowing down at all, and they kept trying to challenge him with better competition.
So overall, here's what we're talking about. So he was 6th overall pick last year out of Florida, and so far in 50 minor league games across AA and AAA, here's his slash line. So 322, 389, 593, and he had 15 homers and 118 total bases. Incredible. Like when you hear those homers, we were just talking about that. He has half what the Royals have by himself.
56 RBI in 50 games.
Yeah.
I think that's what I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's averaging more than an RBI a game. And it just got to the point where, like, we can't keep watching our crappy offense up here and know we have the best bat in the minors just sitting there. He's actually our bat. We don't even have to trade for him. We just have to drive him here. We just have to put him in the clubhouse and pencil his name in. We can have
Send him a
offense.
bus ticket.
That's it.
love.
So finally they did it. And we kind of selfishly wanted him up sooner, but we also probably developmentally, it'd be nice if he got some more right field time, because I think that's where he's going to have to be, because we're not benching Pasquatch, and you can't bench Salvi at DH. But what do you think he's going to be going? Like, lineup card's going to be coming out tomorrow morning, and it's going to be today by the time we get this, because hopefully we edit this really quick. But what do you think he's going to be slotting in? Tuesday in St. Louis.
Exciting too, because he's going to be in St. Louis, which is kind of awesome that he is debuting in St. Louis, which
Busch
is
Stadium, baby.
The rich history between the Royals and Cardinals, that he's going to be there. I tend to think, I've done a lot of digging since I got this news last night, and the more I dig, the more I think they're going to put him in right.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to put him in right, and I think Pruitt, I think you're right. I think they're going to bat him 5th. I think which is crazy to think, because now, that said, I wouldn't be surprised if on his first game they put him in like 7th or 8th. Like, oh, we don't want to put too much pressure on you, Jack. Like, it's first game, whatever. Just let you take your at bats. But I think, like, when we're talking next week, I think he's in the 5 hole. I think it's going to go like what it should go. This is my dream lineup now for what they would do, right? Like, my dream lineup would be that they would actually hit Bobby Witt first. I would like to see Bobby Witt first.
Yes.
I would actually like to see Maikel Garcia
2-hole.
in the 2-hole.
Yep.
And then go 3 Pasquatch.
Yep.
4 Salvi, 5 Jack.
6 India.
6 India is probably what my ideal. Because the other thing that does is it alternates your right lefty.
Yeah.
So you can't get the situational lefty come in and, screw up your whole lineup and everything. So now I don't think that's going to happen, because I think for whatever reason, Q is very, very high on Witt in the 2. He's determined the Witt's going to hit in the 2. So if that's the case, then what I'd like to see is Garcia leading off. I would like to see Garcia in the 1, Witt in the 2, then go 3, 4, 5 like we had outlined.
I feel like we need to mix it up, though, because what we're doing isn't working. I mean,
I agree.
God awful. I mean, come on, Q. Like, maybe just gonna mix it up, flop it over. Let's get Isbell leading off. I don't even care. Try something so I know we're doing something to address it.
Exactly.
Isbell's
At least trying something.
What is Isbell hitting? That's a good point.
Isbell is he is hitting 280, 275.
275 right now.
Like, that's like 400 for Isbell. So, like, why are we not taking advantage of the fact that the dude's hit 275? He's hitting the 9-hole like every night. I would like to see him up there a little higher. Garcia's hitting 316, guys.
Yeah.
Like,
it keeps going up.
Like, he's not cooling down.
No.
And Witt has been in a slump. That's the reason why they didn't score any runs this weekend. He didn't hit the ball at all.
Yeah, I know.
And he's still leading the majors in doubles. So
yeah, he's still leading. Like, that's right.
I would like to see that happen. The other thing I'd like to see happen is it's time. Massey, you can be a backup utility player, or you could go to AAA or whatever. Put Nick Lofton at second. He's done fine in his 16 at bats. He's 4 for 16, couple doubles, couple runs. Hey, I'd like to see more of Nick Lofton at second for the rest of the season. Let's do that.
I'm with you. Let's do it again. Let's mix it up.
We talked a little bit about that last week.
Yes.
Yeah.
It still hasn't happened though.
The corresponding move they made. Corresponding move they moved is they sent Dairon Blanco back down. That's no real loss. He can't hit still, and he wasn't doing all that good at stealing bases. So I think him going down is no huge loss. It's a great move for us. I think that what you're going to see is also a potential of Cags at the DH spot too. We talked about that some last week. I could see that happening too. They want to get Salvi's at-bats, and to Salvi's credit, he has heated up lately. He's now hitting 229. That's still not great. He's still a negative WAR on the season. Drew Waters though, 281. Hey,
he's doing well. Like we said,
I'd like
be
to see
replacement level. Just be a 0. That's all you got to be.
Yeah, that's right. If you could get him, like right now, if you look at the WAR on the previous starters, there's only a couple that have a substantial WAR for the season. Bobby Witt is 2.7 and Maikel Garcia is 1.5. Everybody else is under 1. Now, on the pitching side, Kris Bubic, the Croatian sensation, guys, his WAR a third of the way through the season is 3.5.
Jeez. That's incredible.
That's a full season WAR for a starting pitcher.
That is.
No doubt.
That's he's got a 3.5 already. He's got a 1.43 ERA, which leads the major leagues. He's got an ERA plus of 2.85, which leads the major leagues. He's averaging 9.4 Ks per 9, 79 strikeouts in 75 innings. And his WHIP is 0.99.
Wow.
He is doing, it's unbelievable what these guys doing. Now, that said, now Lugo's back. Reagan's did a rehab start last night.
Yeah, he should be back
in Omaha.
I think next start, right?
He didn't have any issues in the start.
That's what I was tracking too.
He's probably gonna make the next start. So now you have an interesting question that I wanted to pose to you all. You have 6 starting pitchers. So who are your 5? So Bubic,
yes,
Wacha, Lorenzen, Lugo, Reagans, and Noah Cameron. Who are your 5?
I mean, it's Reagans and Lugo, Bubic. I mean, 1, 2, 3 is pretty easy. I still like Wacha's 4 for just track record. So
Wacha's got a 2.88 ERA. That's not too shabby.
No, it's not shabby at all. But I'm saying even if it was a little higher, I'm not going to kick him out of bed if he has a bad start next week. I still think he's really good.
I'm getting crazy on you.
Let's do it. I want to hear it.
Rolled with the 6-man rotation.
Don't say it, Pruitt.
Nobody does it.
You could.
But last year we kind of our guys had a lot of innings by the time we got to the playoffs.
Save the arms.
Stretch
it's not a bad idea.
That's but the thing is, you take away more starts from our best guys.
Yeah,
that's the only problem. So, but I'm going to hold both your feet to the fire. Which guy are you cutting? Not cutting, but which guy is not in the 5?
Probably send Cameron back down because he has
Noah
options.
Cameron with his 1.05 ERA.
He's the new guy.
0.82 WHIP.
Yeah,
his 2-1 record, 4 games started, 25 innings pitched, and 3 earned runs allowed. So that's the guy you're sending back.
That's the one.
All right.
Just for right now,
devil's advocate here.
We got options, and I just want him. He's gonna be doing just fine. But we're paying these other dudes money, like real money.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do with them?
Yeah.
So I mean, if you want to trade one, we've been on that thing. I'm cool trading one of them.
I'm 100% lockstep with Dex on this one.
Okay.
Hate to do it, but that's the right call.
Same.
I will say I'm probably with you guys too, but just to play devil's advocate, Michael Lorenzen's not doing it for me lately. What if you put Michael Lorenzen in the bullpen and you see if he can work out of the bullpen, maybe be an extra arm in there? Not that they need it, but instead of like a Schreiber or a Zerpa, maybe he's a guy you can call on.
If we're dumping Zerpa, I can see that. I can get on board with it. I mean, there's a plan. I mean, I don't necessarily want to kick Cameron down. Don't get me wrong. I think he's doing great. Yeah. But if you're saying we need to make a spot, I'm not going to – the brand new kid who's had 4 starts, he's not getting it.
I think you're right. And it's too bad for him because, like, on every other team in the majors right now would be embracing him with, like, wide open arms like, dude, you're our 3.
Yeah,
even as a rookie.
that's
But
right.
he's walking into arguably the best staff in the majors right now, and it's a tough spot to be going into. It is nice to have him
It
as a guy
is.
who is, when you have an injury or you want to give somebody a little extra time. You mentioned Waka. I did want to bring up Waka took a no-hitter this weekend into the seventh inning.
Six. Oh, was it seventh inning? I thought he got broken in the sixth.
He went six and a third,
Okay.
and then he gave up a hit, and I was like, wow, that's incredible. I didn't realize how close Michael Waka has come to a no-hitter multiple times in his career. He has taken a no-hitter into the ninth 3 times.
Really?
And one time broken up with 2 outs in the ninth on an infield single.
Oh, that's the worst.
Which
as long as it wasn't
has
a bunt.
to be, and the worst part of it was an infield single, and I can't remember who hit it, but it was somebody who was a power hitter with no speed who got the infield single. So it had to have been the most gut wrenching. So the poor guy, he has been down this road many times. So they were saying he was not at all nervous when he got to the seventh with no hits. This ain't his first rodeo.
Yeah.
So you got to love that about the guy. He's pitching great, to your point, Dex.
Yeah.
I think Reagan's has been the one to underperform, and some of it may be he was hurt. He's had this groin injury for a lot of the season.
These guys, when they try and pitch around injuries, don't get better. They usually are off on control, off on form, technique, and usually it just has a trickle-down effect. It's just performance. It's impacted immediately.
They're like thoroughbreds, right?
You're right.
You have to inject some sanity in that situation, or else they'll just tear themselves up, and then they're no good.
That's exactly right.
3 months at a time.
Because none of them want to get pulled. None of them want to sit down. But I'm glad they did it for Reagan's when they did, because it could have ended up being a long-term deal if he had kept pushing through it. Lugo's back. That's super helpful. The bullpen's still pitching really well. I give Zerp a crap. He has pitched better lately. His ERA is down to 5.01, and it was really high for a long time. Now Ursig went on the injured list. So he is
that sucks.
I don't think it's anything major, but he's on the injured list. I was just reading about Hunter Harvey. He's still having problems just doing long tosses. I'm beginning to worry that this may be we're not going to see him this year.
We got a dud. They gave us some broken product.
We got a lemon with that trade, because he has not given anything.
Did he pitch more than 3 games last year?
No, I think
that was about all he pitched.
Yeah, and then he wasn't good, and then he got hurt. I'm like, huh.
Yeah. So he's really been unable to give anything. We did have another Kyle Wright rehab start at AA, so that's good. He's starting to work his way back. So there's a few things that are happening in terms of the pitching in the minors that people are starting to get some work. We've got the depth there. I love the Jac thing. I hope that there's not too much pressure on Jac. I hope he doesn't feel it like, oh my gosh, I got to come up and fix the offense, because honestly, that's what we're waiting for him to do.
Yeah. All he needs to do is be himself. So I want to hit on just a couple amazing stats real quick. So even though he just debuted for Omaha on May 20th, Jac Caglione is responsible for 3 of the 4 longest home runs by the Storm Chasers this season. 459 feet, 442, and 431. Now, I want to go into here. So entering Sunday, Caglione had an average AAA exit velocity of 95 miles an hour and a hard hit rate.
Average.
Yeah, that's that. A hard hit rate was 59.5%, which means of all the balls he actually hits, 60% of the time he touches a ball, it's leaving at 95 miles an hour or higher.
No way.
It is insane. He's in the 90th
Isn't
percentile.
the normal hard hit rate
crazy.
30 or 20?
Yeah, I mean, 40 is really good.
Low.
50's elite. 60? What? That's just...
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That doesn't even make sense. That's not a thing, man. That's just not a thing. And so...
That doesn't compute.
No. And so what he's doing, though, is... So 4 of his last 5 starts in Omaha were in right field. And I think that is exactly on line with what you're thinking, Chiz, like where he's going to start. And I think so, too. I got right field locked with Jac. And if it's something else, sounds good. And DH is the only other thing I could think. And maybe if Squatch needs a day off, I mean, I guess you could just get him at first instead of Salvi or whoever that day.
Every so often.
Yeah. And so I think there's going to be... He's going to be in the offense
I honestly
every day.
don't care. I honestly don't care if he trips over his own legs in right field. Like I don't care.
I think he's going to be
if he's
better than
playing
that.
below average.
As long as he doesn't hurt himself.
I can't imagine that he's going to lose as many runs as he's going to make up for us.
Yeah.
If you watch the video of him getting called up, which is out there all over the place now,
Yeah.
they talk about how are you feeling out in the outfield, whatever. And he's like, I've been working with Rusty Kuntz out there, who's like a outfield whisperer.
Legend, Royal legend.
It is Rusty.
I fully believe that's their intent, is to ask him to fill in where they need the most help.
Yep.
Well, the thing that we have going for the dude's just an incredible athlete, right? He's a pitcher. Yeah. He's, played first baseman. If you look at him, I love seeing any picture of him standing next to anyone in AAA because he looks like a giant next to everybody. He's a huge human being.
Yeah.
He may not be the most natural right fielder, but he's not going to be awful because he's just coordinated and athletic. And, he's going to figure it out. He may not look great out there to begin with, but I think the more he plays out there, the better.
Well, arm strength also isn't going to be the issue in right field.
No.
He's going to have a Strato -5 arm. The dude throws upper 90s. He's legit a two-way player. He's just not pitching yet for the Royals. And as soon as he starts trucking balls, which I hope he just kind of rolls right into it, I feel like he's not putting that much pressure on himself. He's just doing what he does. Like he did this in college, and he's now doing it in AA, did it in AAA. And I don't think they might put him at 6 in the lineup. I don't think he'll go lower than that. But
he didn't seem to have any trouble adjusting to AAA when he made the jump from AA.
Yeah,
he definitely did. Like, obviously, the pressure didn't affect him because
that's what I'm getting at.
You're exactly right. Like a lot of people, when they make that jump, they're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm up a level. I gotta really bear down and show them that I'm good." And he just promptly hit 6 home runs in 8 games.
They had 2 in one game.
Like 2 in one game. Like, but let's be honest here. If he hits 1 a week, that would be phenomenal for this club.
Upgrade. Yeah.
That would bump us up 30% over our season total.
Right? Any kind of power is not happening. And to just have somebody else you have a shot with, because as I was watching the game yesterday, it was super frustrating because, I felt defeated after we got through the first 4 guys in the lineup. I was like, well, next inning, we're going to have Massey, Lofton, and it's like we don't have a chance of scoring a run in that inning.
Yeah. Can I send Massey down yet? Can I send him down?
Yeah.
Like, what do I got to do to make that happen? Who do I got to write to?
He needs to be sit down because we are just in a. I've always liked him because he's a guy that, like I've always said, he skied over his tips. He was doing better than he should have done for his draft stock and his ability. But it's caught up with him this year. They know how to pitch him.
Yeah, he's running out of rope.
And so he hasn't adjusted, and he's a good second baseman, but there's a lot of good second basemen.
That's it.
There's a lot of guys you can put at second. You know,
Jack can play second.
Yeah. Right.
You ever seen a 6'6" second baseman?
Put the glove down, bro. Let's put the glove down and roll it to first. Let's go.
I'd like to see that.
If you sort the Royals team stats by batting average, the bottom 5 are Tyler Tolbert, MJ Melendez, Dairon Blanco, Kevin Biggio, Hunter Renfroe. Michael Massey's 2
names.
away.
Okay.
So Massey could be.
Who else is down there?
John Rave in limited action is hitting 200.
Yeah. It's a little to be expected.
Then Massey's at 204. So he's not that far out of reach from the guys that have been sent down or cut.
I was actually glad they sent Blanco down instead of Rave because, I think Rave is a more consistent and he does more for you overall. If Rave gets a spot start here and there, that doesn't kill me. But when Blanco got a start, he's not going to hit when he's starting.
No, it's 0 for however many at bats.
Yeah, I really liked him last year, but he's proven he's just kind of a one-trick pony, and even that one trick is not that great this year. So
yeah.
It makes sense.
So I agree. But it is super exciting. I am very excited about tomorrow night's game. And I watch a lot of the Royals games. You guys know, almost anytime I'm home, I'm watching. And I actually kind of got sick to my stomach on Sunday because I was sitting there Sunday afternoon watching, and I was like, this is disgusting. Like, we're a Major League
I believe
Baseball
that's
team.
exactly what you wrote. You just put one word disgusting in our group chat. And then I didn't even need to know what you're talking
We all
about.
knew
I
what
knew
you
your
meant.
dog didn't
Yeah.
throw up in the living room. I know there wasn't something weird outside where he stepped in something. I knew exactly what you're talking about without even knowing. And that's
Right.
that's where we're
Right.
at.
This is so, like, to see just his at bats are going to be fun. And when you put him and Witt in the same lineup, because right now Witt's at bats are still fun. And I know he's in a slump, but I've watched almost all of his at bats the last week. He's still hitting the crap out of the ball. He's just hitting it right at people. So I'm like, I'm not worried about Bobby. He's going to be fine.
The law of averages.
So it's watching Bobby bat, watching Jack bat. And now you got Sasquatch starting to really heat up.
Garcia's still hot.
Garcia is, gosh, he's fun to watch this year, guys. He's fun to watch at the plate. He's a good hitting player. The only thing that drives me mad about Garcia, going on a Garcia tangent, is sometimes he just doesn't look like he gives a crap. And he's made a couple throws from third this year where he just kind of goes, and like he bounced one this weekend. I'm like, what are you doing? It was like he didn't even try. I'm like, what are you doing? And sometimes he doesn't look like he's trying, and that bothers me. But if he hits 318, he cannot try all year. I don't care.
He still needs to try. He still needs to try. I'm not on that. So, all right, Chisholm, I want you to go into just go with 2 minor league performances that are kind of impressing you so far, and then we'll do our Matty Cronin update.
Yeah, that's right. So the two that I will call out, and I've mentioned this guy once before, and we're not going to dive deep because this was mainly a Jack episode, but I have really liked Jordan Groshans. He is the guy that was very highly touted. The Blue Jays took him in the first round in 2018, and they kind of gave up on him. And if you look at what he has done this season for the Royals, he's a very consistent player at third base. I mean, he's bounced between AA and AAA as they needed him to. His 309 on the year. He's got a very strong walk to strikeout ratio. So even though he's 18 walks, 22 strikeouts, so he's not a guy that Ks a lot. He makes good consistent contact. He's primarily he's not really a power guy, but he's a good third baseman.
Yeah.
And I think he's a guy who could definitely see time.
He could be the other corner outfield spot might be vacant.
I thought he's a third baseman. He's only 25. Thought he may be somebody who was going to take Maikel Garcia's spot this year until Maikel Garcia started hitting like he was. Other guy I want to call out because he's been consistently good is Cam Devaney, and he's the unfortunate Bobby Witt backup.
Oh, yeah.
I honestly think Cam Devaney is trade bait.
I was going to say, he's probably a good trade bait because there's a lot of teams that need someone that can hit.
Listen, he's a shortstop hitting 306 in AAA with 11 home runs, the second in the minors for us behind Jac Caglione. So the guy has shown consistent pop. He's a good shortstop. He's very solid. I think he's somebody they could trade and get somebody for. I think, you could maybe pair him in one of the other arms that we have in the minors and get another bat. Because I don't think the Royals are done. I would not be at all surprised to see the Royals go after another bat before the deadline.
Can he play second base?
He can play second base, but I think that they're going to give Lofton the shot before they give him the shot. And so I think that they're too invested. The Royals, you know how the Royals get with certain players? Lofton and MJ is one of those players. Lofton's one of those players, too, that they've been in love with for a while, and they're just going to keep trying until he absolutely makes it where they can't try anymore.
That's why I answered the way I did on your earlier question about Lorenzen versus Cameron.
Yeah.
When I look back at his last 4 starts, I'm like, Cameron, he's the right choice right now, but they're heavily invested in Lorenzen, so
that's right.
That's the pick they will make, whether or not I think it's the right move is probably irrelevant.
Right. So that's a little bit of the update. We have given Asbel watch. Asbel now at 40 stolen bases in 46 games. So he's still on pace for 100, which is what we want for Asbel this season.
That'd be awesome.
And some very unfortunate news on my cousin Matt Cronin update. He took a stint on the IL. So he was just absolutely lights out so far this year. I was really worried that he had torn something in his elbow. That was started having some pain in the elbow. I reached out, ends up it's just he's got a little bit of a strain. They think it's going to be fine on its own, so he's just going to take a little time. They put him on the 7-day IL. That's what they have in the minors. He may have to extend that. They'll keep you posted, but hopefully he can come back and keep up what he's been doing, because the season's been really strong for him. He's been really good. So prayers up to Matt that he gets better quick and takes advantage of the momentum this season's created for him.
Yep. I'll tell him that the Shrewdness is rooting for him.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Good deal.
Cool.
All right. Well, thank you much.
It's Jack Week.
It's Jack Week. Tomorrow should be a day. It'll be a Kansas City holiday.
Should be a day off. We should all get to stay home tomorrow.
That's it. So Tuesday, June 3rd shall henceforth be named Jack Day. And hopefully he comes through with a bomb in Busch Stadium. That'd be sweet.
Ah, wouldn't that be awesome? Let's see a McGuire-esque bomb at Busch.
Yeah, we might do a special edition depending on how tomorrow's game goes.
Right?
It might be 10 minutes of just all highlights and pure excitement. We'll just see what happens. We'll see what happens. We'll play
every pitch he took.
Exactly. All right. Well, thank you all.
Awesome.
Counting it into ball, guys.
We may not quite go that deep, but we are very excited to see how Jack can do up with the big club. So that'll do it for this week's Royals update. Again, thank you much for checking us out for your weekly Royals news. And until next week, or maybe tomorrow,
stay shrewd.